Okay, New Zealand were playing Jamaica up at the Hull City Stadium in Hull. They've won the game 68-6. Yes, Jamaica get their try, which is fantastic. I think that's the greatest moment of this World Cup so far. The Jamaican players, their celebration tells you all you need to know about how important that try was. New Zealand obviously were going to win the game. It was a question of how much. They didn't break their World Cup record, which they got against Tonga in the late 90s. They didn't get the same scoreline or better than what Australia against Scotland. And the Jamaicans actually played quite well. They didn't give up. They deserved their try. And at the end of the game, they were the side in the last 5-10 minutes that was actually on top. They were buoyed by their try and wanted to go for more. They were getting repeat sets, and it was a fantastic ending to the game. Obviously, Watene-Zelezniak has had a field day on the New Zealand right wing. He's got 4 tries and 2 try assists, and he's kicked a couple of goals. He did go off with a tight hamstring. Hopefully it's not a hamstring strain, it's just a bit of cramp, but precautionary in a game like this. Niakora's gone off with what looks like a pec injury, and so therefore there are some injury concerns coming out of this game. Let's have a look at the tries. Goal kicking was an issue which we'll discuss later. Watene-Zelezniak scores his first try on 4 minutes. Peter Hiku gets a try on 9 minutes, created by Zelezniak. Watene-Zelezniak gets his second try on 14 minutes. Kieran Foran gets his first conversion of the game. His hat-trick is done on 17 minutes, Watene-Zelezniak. No conversion. Marata Niakore scores his try in 29 minutes. He would shortly after that go off injured. Hopefully it's not too serious. Foran converts that. Sebastian Chris's try on 37 minutes. And Jerry Marshall King nearly butchered that try. He juggled it in the in goal, and that is again a Watene-Zelezniak kick infield on the run, which was fantastic. Foran did convert that. Chance Nicol-Klokstad, who moved from the centres back to his traditional full-back role, scored his try in 43 minutes. Watene-Zelezniak has now taken over the goal kicking at this point. Britain Nakora's try on 53 minutes. Again, Watene-Zelezniak converting. Jeremy Marshall King gets his second try on 55 minutes. Then Dallin Watene-Zelezniak scores his 4th try of the night and did it on one leg because at this point he has tweaked his hamstring on 59 minutes. Foran has to continue the goal kicking. Brandon Smith on 66 minutes, Foran converts that, and on 72. And then Jamaica with the best moment of the game from Ben Jones-Bishop on 76 minutes. They did not cope with the kick defusal. I think, they want that one back. Quite honestly, Brandon Smith fluffs trying to collect the first kick. Joey Manu fluffs trying to defuse the kick through as well. And Ben Jones-Bishop on his 300th game as a professional. He's had so many injuries throughout his career. You couldn't ask for a better try scorer for Jamaica. At 34 years old, veteran player. Imagine if he hadn't had those injuries that he's had, he could have had 400 games by now. He's a legend of the game, he's a cult hero in the game, and now he's a legend of the Jamaican Rugby League. Now, we've gone through the tries, and I could break down each individual try. Watene-Zelezniak, a lot of his tries and try assists came from the fact that Jamaica got very, very tight and wanted to control the go forward from New Zealand. So, get it out wide quickly. And because Jamaica are in very tight, there's mismatches, numbering up. So Simpson had a bit of a nightmare at times on the Jamaican left wing, and at times he actually played quite well. It all depended on how quickly the scramble defence came across and how many players were drawn in tight. He did come up with some good tackles on Peter Hiku on one-on-ones. Did disrupt the flow between Zelezniak and Hiku at times, and other times, as proven by Watene-Zelezniak, he's left isolated. So that's something that the Kiwis noticed very, very early on, was how narrow Jamaica were defending, trying to, at least restrict their metres up the middle. They'd learnt their lessons from the Ireland game where they were a little bit soft up the middle and a little bit too loose. So they've tightened up that area at the expense of the wide areas, and, they got the ball out there quick. Concerns that I have from New Zealand. Now, Jamaica played a very unorthodox style. From the opening kick-off, they win the short drop out. Basically, it was a short kick-off. They win the ball and actually got a repeat set from it and nearly scored a try within the first couple of minutes. So they struggled from the opening kick-off in diffusing those short kick-offs and line dropouts as well, goal line dropouts, and that could prove crucial later in the tournament. Goal kicking was an issue. Dylan Brown went down with sickness. He was kicking last week. So Kieran Foran was the primary kicker, Watene-Zelezniak was the secondary kicker. Goal kicking was an issue. A lot of kicks at goal were missed, which has reduced the scoreline and kept the scoreline a bit more respectable for Jamaica. It could have been a bigger scoreline and a record-breaking scoreline for this World Cup. It wasn't. So goal kicking is an issue. And dealing with unorthodox play. Now, they struggled against Lebanon with the short dropouts and kickoffs. They struggled again with Jamaica, which I find really interesting with a Michael Madge Maguire coached team. That could be a weakness that later in the tournament, in let's say the 78th minute, the game is close. There's a short dropout or a short kickoff and retaining possession with maybe a few points in it that could prove crucial. That's an area that I think New Zealand will not be happy with. Some of their disjointed play at times. Yes, you only had one out-and-out half and two hookers on the field because Dylan Brown was not available. And so a lot of play had to go through Kieran Foran. Now, Marshall King and Brandon Smith obviously helped Foran in the creative spine, but that is interesting. And also chopping and changing Manu into the halves and putting Nickel Krogstad back at fullback. Now, I think Nickel Krogstad is primarily a fullback when he has played for the Raiders and obviously in reserve grade as well. He's obviously moving on to the New Zealand Warriors, so he is a fullback come winger. He's been playing in the centres in the first game. Joey Manu is more of a centre. He's been playing at fullback in the first game. He's got put into the halves. And then Watene-Zelezniak goes down with injury, so they have to reshuffle. There has been a few little concerns there with some of the injuries. Hopefully Dylan Brown is available for the game against Ireland, because I think they missed a little bit of something there because that put a lot of pressure on Kieran Foran, who played very, very well, but Kieran Foran is not a regular goal kicker these days. He hasn't kicked at goal for at least 4 or 5 years in the NRL, so he's not a regular goal kicker, and he did miss a lot of kicks at goal this evening. So there are some weaknesses in this New Zealand side that, yes, the win is great. They did not deal with the dropouts and kickoffs at all well, and even the kicking early in sets. Teams will do that, and we have seen teams do that to gain a bit of momentum or to gain some territory. They had some issues, which ultimately led to the Jamaica try. Because they got so used to Jamaica kicking early in set, when they actually kick on final ball, they didn't defuse it very well. And it was an ugly banana kick. It was an awkward one, but they still did not control the possession. They turn it over, and Ben Jones-Bishop kicks it through, and that is a fantastic try. So New Zealand, while they can be happy with the win and getting some of the combinations working really well, a couple of injuries have come out of the game, and I think Ireland may also implement the short kick-off and short dropout. And when you've got someone like Luke Keary in the side, he's very, very good at doing that, and some other unorthodox players, like Myler as well, who can do their unorthodox, unstructured play. That could be another headache for New Zealand. That's an area they should work on, but they can be pretty happy with some of the tries scored and a good run out for some of the players that didn't play last week. And of course, they've got players to come back into the side as well. So all in all, great result for New Zealand. But Jamaica, well, unlike Scotland yesterday against Australia, they didn't give up. They had a lot of ball. They did challenge New Zealand at times, especially with their unorthodox play, and they asked questions, and they get their try. Scotland yesterday against Australia were hopeless, absolutely hopeless from the first kickoff. Jamaica were positive from the first kickoff. Scotland were negative from the first kickoff, and Jamaica did not stop trying. They put the energy in, and yes, it's a blowout scoreline, but actually, I think the real moral victory is for Jamaica today, and of course the victory on the field is for New Zealand. And you look at the end, how the players are responding to each other. The Kiwis had a lot of respect, I think, for the Jamaicans, the Rugby Warriors, and hey, look, that they will go into that game against Lebanon going, actually, we might be able to get an upset, because they did put some phases together. They actually got some repeat sets, and they actually played very, very well. Their energy levels did not drop. They kept going until the final whistle, which was fantastic. And I think they're everyone's second team in this tournament. Everyone wants to see the underdog who will do well, and they actually did compete in the middle, in the physical areas. They got strips, they knocked the ball loose, they disrupted the Kiwis at times. But when the New Zealanders got that flow on, they scored tries quickly, but there were periods where actually they were disjointed, and they were frustrated, and they were off the boil a little bit. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. 68-6 the final score, and that was actually quite a decent game to watch. Thank you very much for watching. Please place your thoughts in the comment section below, and I will have some more videos for you very, very soon.